Can you hear me now? I thought I set that. I might have to restart this stream. Can you hear me now? There's a little delay. All right, yeah, I always forget, man. I turned that thing on. Yeah, I would already be in the 70s by now, I'm sure. Um, and I was watching on Jay's 2 Cents a few days ago. He was like, yeah, one thing you can check is when you're done running a high test, like something straining the system, uh, it'll cool down quickly. I ran this damn test earlier. It gave me like a 520. This thing fluctuates a lot. This test, you can run it one time and run it another time, and it'll give you a different score every time. None of the scores were as good though as the overclock score. I think that got up to 560. It may be too that Blender's running in the background. I only got 16 gigs of RAM. I would love to get more memory, like some more of the 3600 speed. I bet that would make a difference. Like, my damn system's hobbling by with 16 gigs. Oh yeah. I was about to do a video. Like someone was asking about the animated meshes in Beam, and I was gonna do a quick video. On the animation. Yeah, I think it's just a lot of stuff running right now. Like it got this different stuff going. I'm gonna try to overclock it in a little while, and then I'll rerun the test. Getting you some pizza, man. What kind of pizza you getting? I used to love Pizza Hut's barbecue pizza. That was some good stuff. I haven't seen that pizza in a long time. So what I did is I got some barbecue from the store, and I put it on a pepperoni pizza, and it tasted just as good. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You know, if you go on sketchup.com, let me pull it up real quick. There's a lot of free stuff on here. You just have to make a free account. And the SketchUp, I think, let me see. Is this the right damn site? Or is it Sketchfab? I always forget. I think it's Sketchfab is the one I'm supposed to be on. One of these is the one that has the free models. So I'm not sure if it's this one. Let's see. I know they sell a lot of them, and I don't think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. See here the 3D model you can download. You just have to make an account. Like if you go in, like they got the ones they sell too, but if you go into here and you can buy them. Now there was a way to do a height map in Blender. I'd have to find it again, but I had it on my C drive before my C drive died. Well, not died. I mean, before I had formatted it, and I had like the shader thing that showed you how to set it up to render a height map from a 3D mesh. So like you have a skull there, and it would make the proper height map. Because if it's not a height map, then it's just going to be a simple diffuse map. It's just going to be like an embossed. It's not really going to really be like the highest point of the skull where it's white isn't going to be like high, and the lowest point where it's dark is going to be low. It's going to kind of just be like if you were to took like a carving tool and just kind of carved, like an inch deep into the ground like a skull. That is what I call that a relief map. But I need to find out how to do that too. What it's probably going to turn out looking like though. It's probably going to look like one of those You know them toys that you got all the nails. You could put your hand like shoot a bird, and then you'd move your hand, and then it'd have the hand shooting a bird. One of them kind of Spencer Gifts sold them things. Well, if you could imagine taking a skull and pushing one into one of those things, that would be how the height map should look. But it won't do like stuff behind. It'll just be stuff like on the top. I don't think the terrain won't let you chip away at the sides. It's just like either up or down, the little cubes. Also, the size of the map, let me pull it up, show you what I mean. This thing here, for some reason, this chat box this chat box don't want to cooperate like the other boxes do. Or I have to just, there it goes. It's a little tricky getting it. So, I'll pull this one up real quick. Yeah, Turbo Squid's another one that sometimes you can find some good. You can find some free stuff on Turbo Squid. All right, so if we zoom out to here, this is like a 4096 by 4096. What I did is I went into the editor. I just basically told it to. We're here. I don't know if you did this or not. Export. Oh, it's in Terrain Tools. Export terrain, and you tell it where the export path is. I'm just going to let it put it in this. Now, what you have to do, you have to say select the terrain and export. Oh yeah. And so when you like get into that folder, what I was just going to say, I may not have said it in that video. That's what I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not. But it is this height map, the terrain height map.png. I just like load this into GIMP, for example, and if you look at the image size, it's 4096 by 4096. This is basically the map, and this is just a little places I did do something to it, but it's pretty much a flat map. But putting a skull in there, it'd be better with the with like Blender rendering the height map. But I have to research that a little more because I'm not sure how to do that yet. I just know how to like load an image into here and just make it diffuse. And then inside, after resaving this as the exact same file name, just overwriting the other one in the game, actually going into here and then import in terrain and then picking the same terrain, just let it re-import it. But I have seen it crash a lot doing that. I don't know why it does it sometimes. Sometimes I'll delete this terrain, then delete this terrain block to import in a new terrain block. It does work sometimes. Sometimes it crashes. But if I delete it, and then I say import in, no, not that. Import should import it straight back into it. And if you did some work to it, it would import it all the same with the changes. Image, height map image, the terrain height map. That's kind of weird, like it's red. Don't know. And it should import it in. But it's gonna crash on me. See, I don't know why it does that shit. I don't know. They don't always do it. It's one of them things that's who knows. I think alternatively, what I had to do in the past, I've had to import it in while the other terrain block was also there, which two terrain blocks don't work well together. In fact, they'll screw all up. See, I think the way I had to do it, I should be able to import into here too. It shouldn't matter which level. This actually doesn't even have a terrain block. This has just got a damn grid plane. If I go into there, yeah, see, it did something because something's in here. Yeah, see, that's the one I just exported from the other map. I think it's just kind of crazy. It does it sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. But I'll have to look. I'll have to look on YouTube for that. Uh, there's a video. I have to find it again, but where the guy it illustrates how to do that. Rendering height map in Blender. I'll know it when I see it. I don't say the dude had a beard. It's probably in my history. I probably have to scroll through it to find it. I remember clicking on many of them that wasn't the right thing. I might have, you know what? I might have saved that. I did move. I did have half a brain, and I did move some files to my other drive. I'll just have to go through and look for it. I'll look for it in a little while. But it was basically, it was a template that showed basically what you hook up to what and what to what and what to what to basically, render it in the shader. So I'm gonna get back to this real quick. So anybody wanting to animate, animating is easy in Blender. Just select this here, like frame 1, for example, and over here to this frame, you want to move from one place to the other. I mean, moving is not a problem. Complicated animations can be complicated though. They require bones. But just simply moving something is easy to do. Like you can export this straight to the game. I mean, it's not going to have a texture, but I'm just showing you how easy it is to move something in Blender, then put it in the game. It's pretty easy. Levels, small grid, art. I'll just throw that in there. It'll be fine. And then just go to the asset browser and where is it? Oh, I don't see nothing. There it is. A little bitty cube there. Oh, that's interesting. It ain't even got a damn texture on it and it's not red. That's the first. Usually when you export without anything on it, it is red, no material. So that's pretty easy, but I can show everybody who wants to know about the collision mesh how that does not work. say rebuild collisions, I'll turn on the ground model debugger and pick static. I'll have to click all these. So you can see here that the collision mesh only renders on one frame. It doesn't follow the item as it moves along. I mean, maybe it would process it in another spot, but the whole point is it doesn't move. It doesn't carry physics with it like J-beams do. You have to put that thing in a J-beam and then move the J-beam to have the object have physics. But that's all this video was going to be, just kind of show how you could do this in the game, and also for people that want to animate things, which I love animating things. But one of the problems that you'll have when you animate things, especially if they go a great distance, is they will phase in and out of existence. So like, for example, I've moved the block from here to here. Let me make that block bigger so we can see it better. All right, we export this into the game. Just overwrite the other one. And try to minimize some of this. The first time I ever saw this doing this, I think, you know, maybe I just looked at it wrong, the wrong frame. Maybe it was starting over, but no, it phases in and out of existence. It doesn't show it correctly. Like, you can be in one view and see it fine, but you can be in another view and it will just. Now, I had an airplane flying around a track, that Ukraine track, and the damn thing kept disappearing. And then Arkham's Razor is the user in the forums that told me how to get around this. He just had a theory on it, what it was causing it, and it actually worked. To get around it, you just gotta add two empty plane axes, like so. Call one base 0, 0, and the other start 0, 1. Eat that pizza before it gets cold. That sounds pretty good, man. Pizza. We got a Pizza Wally over here, man. They got some good pizza. All right, then you put that cube into there. Now here's the thing that's different than everything else. You have to add a mesh cube. That goes in base, like it is now. This is in base. I think that's right, or that's the damn collection. I don't know, give me a minute to think. Maybe this goes in the collection. I forget if it's the damn collection or if it goes in base, but you know, your mesh goes in start. But this is the cube that you have to create to tell the game, look, if I'm inside of this damn box, I want you to show me that animation. That's basically what you're doing. You're saying, as long as I'm within inside of this box, show me the animation. And I just make it large enough that no matter where I'm at on the map, I know I'm inside of that cube. So if we go back and export it now, no matter where we are, we should be able to see our cube playing perfectly without phasing in and out of existence. It's just resetting. That's why it's stopping now. But that's how you get around that problem. Yeah, you'd be look one way, then look the other way, and it would disappear, reappear. I'm like, what in the world, man? So yeah, it's kind of like a board, I guess. It'd be so much cooler if they had physics, though. You know, that would follow it around. It just don't work like that. Probably be pretty demanding the way they make this thing. You'd probably have to update 60 times per second. I mean, if you hit Control F7 to rebuild collisions, you see it kind of like pauses for a quick second. Well, imagine having to do that 60 times in a second. Probably damn make the game run bad. Would be my thinking. All right, so let me go on to the next thing. Somebody asked me about this. This is something I'll try to do tomorrow or the next day. They're asking me about Spider-Man driving a car. So this is the Jason Voorhees driving a car that I am going to be putting in the car. But right now, the only thing I've done is made the made the J-beam for the mask. I can load him into Blender and show you what he looks like. I also got that Mel Gibson in there that I was working on. But if I load him in the Blender, crap. So right now, that's just the J-beam for the mask. And that's what I was trying to explain to people earlier, or in another comment, is basically a J-beam is like an ice cube, more or less. It's like an ice cube for whatever it's moving. Now, this is actually what has the physics. This is just the mesh that this is moving. And the J-beam, this mask, has to, if possible, wherever the vertices are on here, it's best if your J-beam vertices similarly line up. Similar. As you can see, these are all not nowhere near where they are on the actual mask. They're just kind of like shit, nowhere near it. That's why you get those weird warps and bends and crap in the models. Which I had an alternative to do this. I was like, well, what if I just take the mask, right? Duplicate the mask, and then the duplicate reduce the poly count a whole lot and make that the J-beam. Well, that will work. It's just, it's still a lot. It's going to make a lot of damn beams is what it's going to do. It's going to make many beams. That's 12,000 faces. I decimated. But see, that's not good enough. That's too bad. That's 1,000. That's still way too many. Because that's going to make a lot of beams. Basically, however many edges you see. I mean, yeah, edges. Which one? So yeah, I'm just going to make simple geometry for it. But basically, to answer that person's question, basically this model needs to have a J-beam made, whether it be Jason Voorhees or Spider-Man or anything. Basically, it's got to have a J-beam like I showed you, like this mask has to have for the mask. But you got to have something similar for the rest of the body. I'm not a great J-beam maker, so I kind of do the lazy thing and I make a box mesh cube. Move that cube up, scale it down. So like this would be the one for the head here. I just move the thing kind of hide this for a moment. Turn on X-ray so I can see through this a little better. So I scale this box down, try to get it closely matching the head, neck, as I can get it. And subdivide it many times. Not too many times, just a few. And then delete the faces on the bottom. And then shrink wrap. Oh yeah, so you gotta triangulate your faces too, or it won't export it as a JBeam file. Then pick the box, pick the modifier, shrink wrap, and then select the head. And that's what I would use for the JBeam for the head. It's not perfect by any means, but it'll work. I'll like offset it a little, make it a little larger than the actual mesh. And then it's just a matter of setting the origin to the 3D cursor and applying all transforms. And this cube, I'll just call it head JBeam, because the head JBeam is different from the actual head. The head is the DAE file, the actual model of Jason's head. Which, where the hell did the head go? Which one is it? Did I delete it? Oh, there it is. I had to rename these things. It's kind of confusing at the moment. So yeah, you would just take this, you would export this as JBeam. Successfully exported one JBeam, and wherever this file saved, which is on the desktop and Blender saves, is that where it's saved to? It might not be right. Let's see. Where does this say it's at? Damn it. Oh yeah, I gotta apply that. Where is that? That's this right there. Oh, there it is right there. Head JBeam. See, that's the JBeam nodes, beams, and triangles for the head. That's a lot of damn. I probably should have optimized that better. And see, I got one for the mask. I have to have one for the torso too. But I put all these together on one. I wouldn't have these on like 4 or 5 different JBeams. As it load. I'm gonna do this video. I think I'll do this tomorrow. I'm gonna, because I wanted to do a whole video on this, how to do this. But I want to do it early when I got more focus in the morning. I think I pretty much exhausted my focus with this water cooler today. But that's what I'll do tomorrow to answer that question for those that are asking about the Spider-Man thing. I can't think of anything else. I'm not very fond about doing these live stream things. I'm not used to doing them, and but I gotta keep doing them, or I'll just get better at doing them. I've just not been good at talking and doing something at the same time. I like patting my head and rubbing my stomach. I can do that though, actually, but you know what I mean. So yeah, also this dude. I mean, I figure he don't need legs. That'd make it a lot easier. I thought I had the truck in here. I might have deleted the truck. but I can load the cab of the truck. I just have to, man, I forgot I deleted it. So yeah, I'll be better organized tomorrow. I'll have everything set up, everything undone, so I don't have to keep going through and doing all this stuff. I am pick up, DAE. Look at all this crap that's open. Too much stuff. So, like as far as the question with importing in a DAE, sorry, attaching a object to a vehicle. What the hell? Not sure which seats the one's for. Alright, so it's that bucket looking seat. That one. So it's not this one. I'll save this file so I don't have to do this again tomorrow. So, yep, that's that. And that is that. That's how I got him situated. So when he's exported as a J-beam and I get the rest of, probably have to cut the arms a little bit so they'll bend a little easier. But it really ain't that important. It's not like he's going to get ejected or anything and go flying and you want to see the arms flapping around. They just kind of just be a rigid driver, kind of like the more simple dummy that drives, the white one, Stiggy or Stig, whatever. It would kind of be like Stiggy. But that's what I had to do. I had to import in part of the truck that I wanted him in, so I knew what size to make him. So when I put him in there, he wouldn't be in the seat or in the J-beam of the seat. I may have to move him. And I guess the hands don't move. Like the steering wheel in the game doesn't actually move, I don't think. I don't think there's a way to hook the hand to the steering wheel, and as the steering wheel moved, the hand moved. If that was the case, it probably ripped the arm off because it would spin around more than what this would allow it to. I think it's just going to have to sit there, like not move at all, just kind of just be there. But this is what tomorrow's video will be. If anybody wants to watch, I will try to do it live. It's just going to take a while. It's not a quick process. I think it'd be pretty cool to have Jason driving. Pretty cool. And like I said, I'm not putting the legs in there. That'd just be more work. But for anybody that wants to learn how to do this, easiest thing to do is just start with one object, like a mask or something. Just see if you're able to connect it to the pickup truck. Because what you have to do is load that into the J-beam editor program. And that particular body part for that truck is the body. There, you have to load it into there. That one. That's the default truck. See, that's that little cab. And then you take the J-beams that are exported, the head, the mask, the torso, all that. Those items have to be included into this part of the truck's J-beam file. It ain't too hard to do. Just have to add the flex bodies. You just basically copy and paste this stuff here and just rename it to the part that's going in it, which would be, in this case, well, I'm going to rename that. Crap, I'm not leaving. I'm just going to have mask on there. Mask, head, torso. But that would be what would have to go here. Like mask, for example. And then give it a group name. Call it like, I don't know, maybe give it the group name also mask. And then find the nodes. And in the nodes, add another group, which would be the group that I said was mask. And you just find you a nice spot in here and just paste it. Mask. Mask. And then take all the mask nodes. Put them there. And do the same thing with the beams and the triangles. And find out what your node weight's going to be. See, these things, node weights, whatever these parts are, that's 4.4. I would just make this like 0.5 or something. Something like that. 0.5. I put a 0 if you're going to put a point. And then the beams, then triangles, and then once you get it saved, then you can reload it, and it'll show the parts in that. It'll show the parts in this program when you reload it. once you save the new stuff you added, you reload it, it'll show it in here. And then it's just a matter of just going to the nodes and connecting the two. You just find you a spot, make some room, and just remember whatever these settings are at for whatever these are is what's going to be applied to these, or you can make your own. I just usually go through and I try to find something that's, oh, I think that'll work. I'll just use that. And then it's just a matter of connecting them. Just pretty easy. You just beams, add single beam. You'd like pick that beam, for example, and then you'd select another beam, which would be actually, the node rather. You select the node and you select the node on the part that you want to attach, and like click it, and it would add. I'm not sure where my mouse was at. So you got to pay attention. Wherever your mouse pointer at is where the work gets put. So I gotta just put that there. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be wherever the mouse pointer is where that goes. And if you didn't plan ahead and know where you're putting things, it would all just be put up here at the top. And you have to move it. But it's not too hard to do. It's not too hard to do. I'll try to do it tomorrow so that it's easy to follow along. I'll try to explain. I'll leave the chat open tomorrow. So I'm going to close the chat, I think. Oh, man, I had some more people in there talking. I didn't even realize. Rudy Giuliani, man, what a treat. I'd like to get some of that hair dye Rudy's got. That stuff, man, it can make you sweat black sweat. Oh, Rudy Giuliani. Quite loud in here with all these air conditioners. I wonder why they don't got a chat where hell everybody can talk at the same time. Or you got to read. You think by this day and time, chat will be like that. But I guess it'd be kind of crazy everybody talking at one time. Couldn't hear nothing. Yeah, that man, this stuff was over my head too. I just started small, like started easy. First thing I ever made with J beams was a simple box, and I couldn't find any damn tutorials online to help make it. I mean, I did find one tutorial, but the guy made the video assuming that the person watching knew a lot more than what they knew, I believe, because I wasn't able to replicate what he did. It wasn't until later on that I really understood it a little better. That's why when like people are trying to make things, new things, like I try to give everybody like a helper file to kind of help along. So you have like a blank JBeam already filled out. All you have to do is just copy one thing from one thing to the other. It's not like I sit there and write all that stuff out. Hell, I don't know what I'll put in it. You just take another one and you modify it. That's the easiest way to learn it. Start simple. Hell, I don't know how to do cars, man. There's just so much crap involved with cars. It's a lot. That's why I'm starting little. Just add something. Once I figure out, one thing, I'll move on to the next thing. I mean, I got a lot of ideas. I like to make a lot of stuff. Yeah, the person that asked me, I'm not sure who it was, asked, is in the comments, asked me, I put Spider-Man in a car. And I was like, well, it's, good thing you asked, because I was at the point I'm putting Jason Voorhees in a car, so you can see how it's done. That's the final result. This is what it'll look like. Or not that. This is actually like ray traced. It ain't gonna look like that. But you get what I'm saying. That's gonna be the model. That'd be pretty cool. Have him driving an old beat up truck. I imagine Jason driving an old beat up pickup truck, all rusted and everything, where he ain't took care of it. He ain't washed it or anything. It probably got pollen on it for about 10 years. Probably scratches from running into people, things like that. I don't really see him driving something like a Lamborghini, but that would be funny too. That would be quite funny. Yeah, like Havoc says, I'm more of a fan of making track terrain, track scenery, because it's more like regular art, like regular drawing and painting and sculpting and whatnot. Uh, Whereas J-beam making is more of a technical thing. I feel that it also it's a lot. It's I'm not that great at math, so like when I make J-beams, I'm putting numbers. I'm just trying numbers. I'm not even sure that they're gonna work. A lot of times they don't. It's like for the beam spring. If I got something too damn light and then the beam spring is too strong and it explodes. So I don't know. Like I'm sure people probably make these things all the time. They probably have, they probably already know what like the formula for figuring out stuff. Like, well, if something weighs this much, it can only have this much spring in it or this much damping. Like I have no idea. I just look at what I like. I look at Crash Hard's dummy, for example, and say, oh, well, that worked great for his dummy. It probably worked for mine. He's got some really good J beams for like metal bending too. I would like to know how he does, like how his metal deforms and stuff. But yeah, I think I'll do this video tomorrow on this Jason. I got to read my messages. I got some other questions some people's asked. I also got to finish particles video. I'll probably do that particles video live too. That's what I don't know. I ain't decided. I'm an indecisive person. Can't make my mind up. Hell, I don't even know. I may be talking to myself and not even know. I don't even know if anybody's on here or not. I could be talking to myself. Wouldn't be the first time. Ain't nothing worse than making a video, recording yourself explaining something for 30 minutes and realize you didn't even have the damn thing recording. I just talked to myself for 30 damn minutes. Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Rudy, man. Uh, Giuliani. That's a pretty cool name there. That's a good name. I think somebody should be the Beam Whisperer, BeamNG Whisperer. Like the Horse Whisperer, but the BeamNG Whisperer. Somebody who can hear the game and know what it feels to know what's wrong, what's causing those crashes. He can communicate to the engine and know what's wrong with it. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm gonna close this thing here. I'll do that other video tomorrow. Have a good one, man. And Havoc, enjoy your pizza.